I need to admit something that I have been sitting with for a while now.
Go on.
For the past year, I have been quietly anxious about my 12-year-old. She has tried football, then swimming, then drama club, then a coding course. Every time she moves on from something, I feel this low-level worry starting up. She is not committing. She is not building anything. She is going to be 15 before she has found her thing.
I know that feeling very well. We signed our son up for violin at 7. He practiced for 3 years. He got reasonably good, and then at 10 he said he wanted to stop. We sat with it for a few weeks, and eventually we let him.
And
I still feel a small amount of guilt every single time I walk past the violin case sitting in the corner of the living room. This is not rational. He is fine. He is thriving. But the case is there, and it represents the years of practice that did not become something, and some part of me asks, did I let him down by letting him quit?
we are carrying so much as parents on this particular question because we genuinely do not know. We cannot see clearly enough into the future to know whether the commitment we are pushing for is actually what will serve our children, or whether we are pressing them into a shape that does not fit who they are yet.
Today's book made both of us feel something we were not expecting.
Relief. Evidence-based relief.
Range. Why Generalists Triumph in a Specialized World. Written by David Epstein, a science journalist who spent years researching what actually makes people excellent over time.
He opens with two famous athletes, Tiger Woods, who was given a golf club before his first birthday and whose father designed his entire childhood around one goal, and Roger Federer, who spent his early years playing skiing, wrestling, swimming, skateboarding, basketball, soccer, and handball before committing to tennis at 16.
One of those stories is held up as the model for raising high-achieving children, and it is not the one the research supports.
Episode 5 of 7. We know the wave is real, we think critically, we understand how work is changing, and last week we saw the missing middle, where people and intelligent systems create value together. This episode answers the next question. How do you raise a child who can grow into those future roles and develop the skills to thrive in them? If you have not yet heard episode 4, we especially recommend it before this one.
Segment 1. The pain. Am I steering my child the wrong way? Let us name the parenting pressure that is driving this anxiety about early specialization.
It comes from everywhere at once, from other parents whose children are already committed to something at 11, from schools that stream students early, from the general feeling that the world is moving fast and anyone who starts late will fall behind.
And there is a version of it that is specific to this series. Having heard 4 episodes about AI reshaping professional work, the instinct is, we need to direct our children toward something specific and defensible, quickly. Pick a lane, go deep, beat the machines to it.
Epstein's research says that instinct, in most cases, leads in exactly the wrong direction.
He distinguishes between 2 types of environment. A kind environment, clear rules, fast feedback, patterns that repeat. Chess is the classic example. Golf is another. In a kind environment, the Tiger Woods model works. Specialize young, practice deeply, master the craft. The feedback loop rewards it.
And a wicked environment, unclear rules, slow or misleading feedback, patterns that do not repeat in obvious ways. The right answer often requires connecting ideas from completely different domains,
which describes almost every real career challenge. Managing people through uncertainty, navigating a market shift, making an ethical decision when the guidelines do not quite fit the situation. None of those are chess. They are all wicked.
And in wicked environments, the person who went very deep very early can actually struggle more than the person who stayed broad longer, because their expertise is built on patterns that do not apply. and they have fewer other frameworks to reach for.
Segment 2. Key takeaways.
Takeaway 1, the sampling period is preparation, not delay.
Back to Federer. He did not waste his early years by playing 6 sports. He was building something: hand-eye coordination, physical intuition, the ability to read a competitive situation quickly. All of that transferred when he finally committed to tennis.
Epstein looked at elite athletes across many sports and found a consistent pattern. The eventual top performers had typically spent less time in deliberate specialized practice early on and more time sampling a wide range of activities. Late specialization, on average, produced longer and more resilient careers.
The same pattern holds outside sport. Scientists, artists, and professionals who made major breakthroughs frequently had broad, early careers before going deep. The sampling period was not a delay. It was building the range that the breakthrough later required.
For the parent worrying about a 13-year-old who keeps changing direction, that child may be right on schedule. The research says so.
Takeaway 2. Match quality. Why trying things is not wasted time. Epstein uses an economics concept called match quality. It describes how well your skills, values, and personality fit the work you end up doing.
Match quality matters enormously for long-term success and for genuine satisfaction in a career. And the best way to build it is to sample widely first. The people who commit very early, before they have tested themselves in different contexts, often end up in a poor fit and have to make a painful change later. That change is harder, more expensive, and more disorienting than the sampling period would have been.
So the child who has not found their one thing at 15 is not falling behind. If they are actively exploring and reflecting, they are building the match quality that leads to a better fit later. A career that actually suits who they are.
And the parent who let their child quit violin is not a failure. They may have protected their child's ability to find the thing that actually fits.
Takeaway 3. Analogical thinking. The skill the missing middle actually needs. Here is where this episode connects directly to the series.
Last week, we described the missing middle, the collaboration zone between what machines do best and what humans do best. And we said that human judgment, the ability to ask better questions, ethical reasoning, and the capacity to connect ideas are what the human brings to that zone.
Epstein calls this analogical thinking, the ability to see that a solution from one domain might work in a completely different one, to recognize a pattern from history that applies to a current problem, to ask, does this situation resemble something I have seen before, in a completely different field?
And analogical thinking is built through range. The person who has worked across different industries, read across multiple fields, tried different kinds of problems, that person can see connections that the narrow specialist cannot see.
Then, there is the Nobel Prize finding. Nobel laureates in science are at least 22 times more likely than the average scientist to have a serious creative hobby. Acting, dancing, music, visual art, 22 times more likely. That is not coincidence. Breadth in how you engage with the world trains the kind of flexible thinking that produces breakthrough ideas in any domain.
The child who loves theater and science at the same time is not confused. They may be building exactly the kind of mind that thrives in the age of AI.
Takeaway 4. Your own detours are not failures. They are range. This one is for the professionals listening, the ones who have had more than one career direction, more than one industry, more than one chapter that felt like a wrong turn.
The cultural message is that those detours were inefficient, that you should have committed sooner, gone deeper, stayed on one path. Epstein says that message is, in most cases, wrong.
The professionals who adapted most successfully to major career shifts were frequently the ones with broader early training and multiple active interests. They had what Epstein describes as an 8-lane highway rather than a single road. When one lane changed, they had room to move.
So if you have worked in different fields or changed direction or have a background that feels hard to put on a single CV, that diversity of experience may be exactly the asset that helps you adapt in the world that episodes 1 through 4 have described. Do not hide your range, use it.
Segment 3. Action you can do this week. Before actions, the child who has not found their one thing yet is not behind. According to this research, they may be exactly where they need to be. That is not reassurance. That is evidence.
3 actions.
Action 1. Shift. One question you ask your child. Instead of, what do you want to be when you grow up? Try, what are you curious about right now? Or, what kind of problem would you like to help solve someday? That shift signals that exploring is valuable, not something to feel guilty about.
Action 2. Look at one of your own detours differently. Think of one experience you have always thought of as a wrong turn. Ask yourself, what did I actually learn there that I could not have learned on the straight path? Name it specifically. The things we name are the things we use.
Action 3. Give your child one more month of open exploration. If they are in the middle of trying something and have not yet committed, resist the urge to push for a decision. One more month of sampling is where match quality gets built. It is not wasted time. It is exactly the process that leads to a better fit later.
Closing and what's next. Range is the episode that makes the parents in this series breathe out because it gives permission, backed by research, to stop apologizing for the broad path, to stop pressuring your child to decide everything right now.
And here is something beautiful about where we are in this series. Earlier, we learned that professional work is being broken into tasks. Last week, we saw new human roles emerging from that redesign: trainers, explainers, and sustainers, along with the skills to work well with AI. This week explains where those roles and skills begin. They begin long before someone's first job. Range gives children the breadth to build judgment, curiosity, and analogical thinking. Later, they add depth. Breadth first, depth when it matters. Together, they produce professionals who are both adaptable and excellent.
5 of 6 books done. Next week, we bring it home.
We stop thinking about the big picture and focus on you, the professional listening right now. With a full calendar and a genuine question, what do I actually do with all of this?
The AI-Driven Leader by Jeff Woods is the most practically actionable book in this series. It will send you away with something concrete to do before the week is over. Episode 6, the practical finale. Join us.
You've been listening to Book Takeaways for Professional Growth podcast series on AI and the future of careers.
Remember that the future belongs to people who keep learning broadly. So keep growing.